This story is inspired by a true weekend that I spent on Cape Cod that I point to as being like the moment I turned from like girl to woman. You know, it was this like very pivotal moment in my life. And Lauren and I had worked on a couple short films prior to that, and we knew we wanted to work on our feature. So I kind of pitched her this idea over coffee, and she was like, you know, that's the story we're making. It started out as a drama, which she was like, nope. This is not good. This is no bueno. So then, you know, she kind of implored me to write it in my voice, and, you know, my voice has always been one that's kind of irreverent and dark. So now it's comedy.
At its heart, it's about friendship, and it's about, I guess, just bridging gaps.
Yeah, I think for me, it sort of being this ensemble piece was really exciting, and I thought that it was so heartfelt, and it was beautiful that it was showing these, you know, Middle Eastern girls just being chaotic and crazy and fun and messy and making mistakes. And I think that's what really drew me to the script. And obviously, I'm a big fan of Dalia's writing and her work, and we sort of had that relationship before. And then I asked Mr. Logan Miller over here if he would consider playing the role of Adam, and I sent him the script. And then, what did you think about it, Logan?
Well, my first impressions of the script were that it was a beautiful ensemble piece that also, you know, gave a chance to kind of bridge a gap between audiences and cultures, really. And I thought that it gave a chance for each actor and character to kind of show different layers within themselves. And, you know, it gave me a chance to show many layers and also take off layers and get...
And I
have a lot of Logan in this.
Yeah, I have to say that Logan made Adam likable, and that was a concern of mine from the beginning. And he just, I was like, oh, okay, we know who this guy is, and we could love him. So.
Yeah, because it could easily be just like the one-dimensional privileged white guy, right?
Yeah.
That was the worry.
That's not what it's supposed to be, yeah.
No one here, this is a soundbite, no one likes a privileged white guy.
Here's a soundbite for you.
Well, Medalion sent me the script, and I immediately read it and was so happy that it was a story about 3 Iranian girls that had nothing to do with oppression. And it was just about 3 girls living their lives. It's messy, it's chaotic, and I liked that at the end, sometimes it's okay to not have it all figured out, and it's what it's like in real life in your 20s. You don't sometimes have an answer, you don't know what's gonna happen in the end, but you find yourself figuring it out. And yeah, and they were amazing, and the second I met them, I was like, I would love to be a part of it.
We got so lucky with you.
A moment that really shined and clicked on set is the moment that we're all at the dinner table together, because it gives a chance, everybody is in their own zone, and I think that's the point in the movie that no one really has truly gotten to break the ice with each other. And so we all got to like really expand our reaches as characters. And it's funny, it's dynamic, and yeah, it brings everyone together in a very awkward situation.
Totally.
Also, the Bachelorette scene, I think, really bonded us all.
Yeah, like, you want to talk on the Bachelorette scene?
You want to talk about that a little bit?
So this was an indie film, so a lot of us stayed in the house in which we were filming. While most people were working, I was just sitting there watching Magic Mike over and over again. And then it came for my time to shine, which was about 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I think we did that scene in 2 takes. Came in, did some dancing, left, and yeah, I felt pretty good about that whole scene. It was a good time.
After Mike took
too
his
much
clothes
bonding
off
after that.
I think there was a lot of, like, we were trying, at the 11th hour, we were trying to figure out if we could work out all of the actors' schedules. Can we keep everyone that we had found who had signed on to the project? And we just devoted ourselves to making it happen, and we found a way. There was a construction site next door to the house that we lived in, and we begged them and brought them beer and cookies every day to be quiet when we needed them to be quiet. And it just, each piece, I mean, it was April in Massachusetts. It was cold, and these girls were wearing bikinis on the beach. Yeah, each piece was a new miracle in terms of accomplishing it. Yeah.
I think the biggest was the cold, and there was it was really windy the day of the whole wedding sequence, and we're there in our little dresses and just trying not to freeze, but movie
Layla's
magic.
little nose is like red, and she's like, it was just so cute. It was so cute and hard, but fun.
Yeah.
We didn't know who was going to play Siddhartha, and we auditioned a lot of amazing comedic actors. He just brought something to it that was like, this is it.
There was something about him. Yeah, when he came on board, I was like, all he needs to do is just be Kevin Nealon, like exactly who he is, and that's what he did. And I found out from the makeup team that he'd reached out and asked for moles a few days in advance, and I was like, yeah, totally. For sure, he has moles and the rat tail. Yeah, I mean, that was a surprise because, you know, he was in and out in 48 hours, and we were just like, we're going to find out what he's bringing to the table, and it was so much fun. Yeah.
So you've had your premiere. What was that like, getting to experience the film with an audience?
Oh my gosh. It was so, well, the first night was so nerve-wracking. I was like sitting holding our producer Zane Khleif's hand and like just squeezing it to oblivion because I was so nervous. Like we hadn't tested this film yet, so we didn't know if the laughs were going to come at the right places. So that was a relief.
Yeah, you know, I mean, we bounced it around, but no, that was the first time seeing it with a live audience, and I mean, it was just a very warm, receptive crowd. In fact, so much so that sometimes the next joke was missed because they were still laughing at the previous one. So it was a good feeling, but yes, very, very nerve-wracking.
Well, and the great thing about our premiere is, and what South by does in general, is kind of they bridge the hybrid of having a traditional movie-going experience with also the like austere premiere of Hollywood. But you know, it does feel like, you know, we're going to just see a movie with our friends while also doing something more expansive and special.
What do you want people to leave the theater thinking about?
Persian girls are just like us. Yeah. They're just like us. Like, very rarely do we get to see three Middle Eastern girls being like sexy and flawed and funny and relatable. And, you know, the three of us are often in the same audition rooms, auditioning for the same roles. Like, very rarely do three of us get to be on, like, sharing a screen together.
Yeah.
And we're not playing some.
When we're not playing sisters or,
Yeah.
like, you know, one is breaking the other one out of
Terrorists.
jail. Or, you know, one, you know. So hopefully audiences leave just with a sense of, like, oh, what you see is not always what you get, you know, like don't judge a book by its cover. It sounds cheesy, but it's true.
For sure, and they're so human that we just I hope that anyone from any walk of life can watch the movie and relate to them because and that's the experience we're having so far. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
us.